There he is, right there, right off that back edge. Got him. Right when I come off into the deeper water, I got up top, and that's kind of one of those deals where I wanted to take a look. I got on top of the structure, but the fish have been bailing off of it. And we've been able to watch that happen. And I fished here yesterday, and fish were on top for a little while, but they've started to bail off the top, and they're getting out deeper. It's just because water's warming up, bait's moving out a little bit deeper. But the other thing that's happening is the bait is starting to scatter. Ooh, he got himself, yeah, he did get himself unhooked. Look at that, perfect. Great walleye to start our day, but here's what's happening. The bait is starting to scatter. And when the bait starts to scatter, fish like this that were schooled up on top of the structure not too long ago, I mean, I'm talking literally days ago, hours ago, what happens is all of a sudden they start moving all over. When they bail off that structure, because some of the bait bails off the structure, and you start getting your bug hatches and all the things that come with warmer water and the progression of summer, these fish don't need each other as much. All of a sudden, they're not schooling up nearly the way they were. So it's time to go to a search tactic. And spinners, in my opinion, are just the easiest way to do that at this time of the year. What a spinner is about a mile-an-hour tactic that's still in that realm of a speed that they're comfortable with, while at the same time putting live bait down there that they're still keyed in on. So that's the reason that I choose to go to spinners when I get into this situation and these fish start scattering. Just a few days ago, these fish were all set up right up on tops of structures, and they were all together in packs, and you could float fish them, you could Lindy rig them, you could catch them any way you wanted as long as you were slow and precise. Now, these fish are all sliding off, and I'm not seeing packs of fish this morning. I'm seeing one here, one there, and they're off on the deeper edges, and it's because these fish are now chasing bait that is spreading out all over. And this right here is just a killer way to catch them when you're in that scenario. Starting early with spinners. And very seldom do people think about that. Right now, there's not going to be many fishermen that are pulling spinners. Most people feel it's too early. They start looking at this like a July tactic. And I'll tell you what, for me, you get in that mid to late June time frame, a little bit earlier than everybody else when these fish start scattering, and you can catch fish that everybody else is going to miss. And that's what we're going to be able to do today. There he is. Look at that. That is so cool to see him just pumping on that rod. Big thing, you know, and I talk about it a lot, but play that tug of war. Don't just give them line. If you drop your rod tip, a lot of times they won't get hooked. Just play that tug of war and then just give them a little pull. It's not a big hook set, it's just kind of a sweep. And you'll hook them up 99% of the time. Well, 80% of the time, right? Another great eye, look at this one. Perfect fish, pretty one. Look at that. You get this guy unhooked, that's a really pretty fish. Lots of awesome color in that fish. We get this fish unhooked, get it back, and then, oh, look at it. No, I thought he was unhooked. Might be unhooked. Oh no, there's that hook, right in the snout. I just couldn't see where that hook was. Get this fish unhooked though, and I'll show you exactly what we're using. Pop that out. Look at that, man, that's right in that bony part of his mouth. There we go. Look at that, awesome walleye. That's a cool fish. Let me show you what we're using. A lot of spinners in that spinner aisle. You can go looking at crawler harnesses and spinners, and you know what? There's a lot of good products there. I'm using the Lindy crawler harness today. Here's what's special about this one: fluorocarbon line, so it's tough. Where I'm fishing today, there's zebra mussels. This line is tough. It's not going to cut it all up, and I can count on the fact it's going to stay good for me all day. Even if I do get down into some of those zebra mussels, it's not going to get all nicked up. Number two is all these beads on the different colors in this series are different colors, and then all the blades are mirrored on the back. They're a chrome. So what happens is you start getting that mirrored effect. So if you have any fish chasing it, they're seeing color, they're seeing flash, they're seeing the whole thing. A little bit longer length in between my two hooks as well, so you get a few less short bites. But this is a great spinner for this. Now, if I was fishing dirty water, I'd probably choose a little Joe spinner, something 2.5 feet long, 2 feet long. But what's cool about these Lindy spinners is I'm fishing clear water today. These are 6 foot long. So using that longer length, using that fluorocarbon line in clear water is gonna make a big, big difference. If I was in dirty stuff, I'd shorten it up and be just fine with that. But keep that in mind. I mean, that's the differentiating factor when you're buying a spinner rig at the store, is I want you to think about, what am I fishing today? Am I fishing clear water? Are the fish gonna be able to see it? And what's really gonna make a difference for me today? And what's gonna make a difference for you here is having that fluorocarbon line, so it's tougher and it's harder for them to see, and the length of it makes it further away from the weight. One last thing I wanna show you. I'm using 1.25 ounce bell sinker, and I've just got a Lindy crankbait snap tied on to put on that bell sinker. That way, if I need to change weights, if all of a sudden I'm going faster or slower and I want to change weights, I can. But that's just on a 1 foot dropper line, okay, on a 3-way swivel. The idea behind this is when I'm fishing clear water and the fish might be finickier, I'm going to use that rig. If I was fishing dirty water, I'm going to fish a bottom bouncer. But in this clear water, I want less lead down there. I want less intrusion. I want everything to look as natural as I can make it. And this does the job right here.